In the last section, we saw how speech-to-text tools turn your voice into data and back into a digital voice. Extending that pipeline allows machines to transcribe your speech and immediately translate the resulting text into a new language. We're navigating through Chapter 10 on natural language processing, focusing on Section 4, crossing languages. We'll start with the evolution from rules to neural translation, break down how modern systems process meaning, map out real-time spoken translation, and finally, audit what these algorithms still get wrong. Teaching software to break the human language barrier is one of the oldest and, historically, most frustrating goals in computer science. Let's start with 4.1, from rules to neural translation. Machine translation is software converting text or speech from one language into another. How we accomplish that has gone through 3 distinct stages. This graphic tracks that history, starting with the rule-based stage. Early systems relied on human-written grammar rules and bilingual dictionaries. They were rigid. They translated words literally, and they broke down when faced with the messy, unpredictable ways people actually speak. By the 2000s, we entered the statistical translation stage. Algorithms began learning from huge databases of already translated documents, guessing the most likely word and phrase matches. The text became more readable, but the output remained choppy, and the software routinely scrambled the word order of longer sentences. The modern leap forward is neural machine translation. Instead of swapping out words one by one, neural networks look at the entire sentence at once. They process the words collectively to translate the underlying intent. Stepping away from literal word swapping and focusing on whole sentence meaning unlocked the utility of modern translation apps for travel, work, and study. Moving to 4.2, how modern translation works. Word-for-word translation fails because human languages don't map perfectly onto one another. They use completely different grammatical rules, sentence structures, and cultural quirks. Take the English phrase, "I'm feeling under the weather." A literal translation would leave a non-English speaker extremely confused about meteorology. A meaning-based system bypasses the literal words and correctly outputs the target language's natural phrasing for feeling sick. Picture neural translation as 2 halves meeting. The first half reads the source sentence, compressing it into a mathematical representation of meaning, a cloud of numbers. The second half takes over, reading that number cloud to generate a fresh sentence in the target language. The machine doesn't comprehend French or Japanese like a bilingual human does. It's an engine converting words into math, and that math back into new words. Now for 4.3, real-time and spoken translation. High-speed integration of speech tools and neural networks gives us speech translation. In this technical pipeline, speech recognition first turns spoken words into text. That text goes straight into the machine translation engine. Finally, the translated text is read aloud via text-to-speech or displayed visually on a screen or camera interface. If you want to check how well this pipeline handled a phrase, try the back translation test. Take an idiom like piece of cake, translate it into Spanish, and then translate the Spanish back into English. If it returns as an odd, literal sentence about baked goods, you know the true meaning didn't survive the trip. When it works, layering these distinct AI steps into a single process turns a pair of earbuds into a near real-time conversation device. Finally, 4.4, what translation still gets wrong? Algorithms still struggle with deeply human communication traits. They misread humor, use the wrong level of politeness, and stumble over tone. Solving this requires localization. This process adapts content for a specific culture by aligning the tone, formatting, and local customs until the final product feels natural to the reader. Look at this data cluster comparison. Machine translation relies heavily on training data, which puts low-resource languages at a disadvantage. If a language community has very little digitized text online, the translation algorithm remains weak and highly error-prone. Because of these persistent blind spots with context and data scarcity, high-stakes documentation like medical instructions or legal contracts requires thorough human review. Despite those limits, modern translation serves as a vital bridge to information. It allows a newcomer to read a school notice, understand their doctor, and participate in a deeply interconnected digital world. We've covered a lot of ground today. We saw translation evolve from rigid dictionaries to neural systems, realized modern tools process abstract meaning instead of isolated words, mapped the live speech pipeline, and audited the need for human oversight. Combining these AI steps opens up global communication, provided we approach the outputs with caution around cultural nuances and data limits. Treat machine translation as an incredibly powerful first draft. In our final section, we'll explore how these exact language processing principles form the bedrock of large language models and how to use them responsibly.